Here's just a quick update. So when the last time seeing the pictures of this was, I think I just glued the some pieces of white foam core down here and here. So what I did, let me back it out a little bit, is I took some uh, spackle, and just to kind of give this some more movement. So I took some spackle, mixed some sand in it to give it a little bit of texture, and then essentially smeared it all over the place to both blend the edge into the ground. And so when I do put additional texture and stuff on it, I'm not trying to mound everything up. This way it's nice and light and sturdy, but then when I soak it with glue and sand and other stuff, it'll give it more, again, more texture, and there's more instead of just a flat surface, but still enough to where a miniature could sit on here, and it's not going to completely fall over. So, and then I just took the traditional busted up sprue to add in and look like some rubble piles, same thing kind of up here, and stuff like that. I was thinking about trying to do it in here, but then I figured the way this stuff is, it would probably goop into this, and I think the sand, just normal sand and glue, will stick into here fairly well and make all this stuff kind of blend together, but still give it texture, but then give a little bit more uh, space to it. Next, hopefully, once this dries, I'm gonna let this go probably a good 24 hours, and then probably put a layer of watered down PVA over it, and then I'm going to start doing the barbed wire emplacement with the weapon platform in here. And then the other thing I've got going is I want to try to do one more piece to it to give it again something just a little different. That this is a prepared position, and I'm going to do some camo netting. And all this is, and while this looks kind of black on camera, it's actually more of a really dirty beige. There we go. Is just some gauze pads pulled apart, and I just stuck them in a solution of water and India ink to let it absorb some color, and I let it dry. So there's these splotchy parts and stuff, as you can see, to give it a little bit more, kind of make it look like camouflage netting. So I'm going to layer this up and then give some poles, in here, and kind of fix it to make it look like someone made an in place position with this whole thing, and just give it some, again, another dimension to it instead of just the usual torn up building. Give it again a little bit more. So next time you should see this probably should be, I'll take some pictures of, again, right here where I'm going to put that in placement, and then try to figure out how I'm going to attach the netting to make it viable for a long-term piece, not some delicate item. So there's another quick shot. More to come. Okay, here's then another part of the update. As you can see, I've covered everything. The original mounds and stuff have been kind of covered up with sand and stuff, so you can kind of see that. But with the kind of a monotone at this point, it all kind of blends together. So still need to do a little bit more layering and stuff in here, and then sealing, that kind of stuff, so that everything just has its own protection, that kind of stuff. So what I'm probably going to do at this point is look at probably hitting it with the base primer. I can't use an aerosol can because if it hits any of this foam inside the foam core, it's just going to disintegrate. And given this is a base and that kind of stuff, I need to leave it there. So probably going to pull out some of the Vallejo primer, get the airbrush, and start hitting it with a layer of primer. And then I may hit it with another tougher spray coat can, and just really give this a good, like I said, a good protective coat. So that's what this looks like. This is just sand and stuff like that. Just one more to kind of give you some of the textures and stuff like that. So this should paint up nice with enough little variation to make it look like there's some depth to it, not just a flat piece of wood thing sitting on. So I'm going to go start priming this, and then once I get that primed and some of the shading done, then I should be able to start attaching the building and have the primary colors and kind of finish the stuff out. So getting close to where it's then the detail stages and have this piece coming together. Talk to you later. Okay, here's an update. I put some more base colors down and started giving it some some different colors and stuff like that, so you can see where I appreciated here for the tiles and stuff like that, and around the edges where the building's going to go down, and just started trying to give it some variation, that kind of stuff for different shades. And I'm going to lighten certain more areas up with things, and then it'll wash. But did run into an interesting problem with this, is that even though this is a piece of hardboard and it was essentially a clipboard, it was curling on me. I just got too much liquid on it too quickly, and I didn't follow my normal rule where I actually put a matte varnish over everything before I start putting the glues and stuff to keep it from doing that. Well, it warped, and it warped enough to where even this one you can still see there's still a little bit of movement in here. So what I've been doing is going in, what I did is I took a hair dryer, heated up both sides of this pretty good so it was pretty warm to the touch, and it makes this really pliable. And then what I ended up doing is essentially bending it. I put this notepad underneath it, and then what I ended up doing is putting a bunch of weights on all the corners to bend it more the other way. And I've done this about two or three times, and finally let it cool, letting it cool each time, and I've pretty much got it to where it's now pretty flat. I could probably end up doing it one more time, and it would pretty much get it as good as it's going to be. And then what I'm going to do now is probably seal the bottom of this thing, and hopefully that will keep it from warping. But if you run into that, just take a hair dryer with this stuff, heat it up, and then just put something. You don't need much. You just need, so you can over bend it, and then put weights on the corner, let it cool off, and do that as many times until you get it as flat as you need it to be, and that should hopefully put it back in shape. But hopefully here shortly I should be taking the building, putting it on, and pardon me, my German Shepherd's dog hair is clinging to this thing, so got to get that off. But yeah, should be fairly close to getting the building done and move on to doing all the details. More to come.